Hello, I'm going to take a few minutes to walk you through the use of Conflict Mapper. When you first open up Conflict Mapper, you'll see the University of Uppsala Georeference Conflict Dataset that goes from the years 1989 to 2014. You'll also see the Launch button. Let's go ahead and pick that Launch button and get started. Now our user form is open. We have some options for a start date, end date, a region, and a country. For start date, I think I'm going to pick January 1st, 1990 for this walkthrough. Make sure you enter your date in month, day, year format, and don't pick anything prior to 1989. For my end date, I'm going to use January 1st, 1992. Make sure you don't pick anything after 2014. If I was just interested in a range of time, I could go ahead and select Filter and Map. Conflict Mapper would map out anything that occurred in the dataset between these ranges. But I have something more specific in mind. I'm interested in the Angolan Civil War during those years. So for region, I'm going to pick Africa, and for country, I'll select Angola. Now I'm ready to hit Filter and Map. If I selected a wide range of dates, or left region or country blank, sometimes this could take a while, so be patient if you have a large search. But because I was pretty specific in my search, this doesn't take too long. Now I'm taken to the map page. So here on the map, I can see that any conflict in the dataset that met my criteria has been mapped out for me. You'll also notice that the points are different colors. So those colors correspond to the number of casualties fitting within a certain range. And the casualty numbers for each incident comes from the best estimate on the dataset. I can actually modify these ranges to get a slightly different picture on the map. So if I'm interested in maybe seeing larger incidents, I can reset the high-end number. And as you'll see, the low-end brackets adjust automatically for me. Let me set this next one, 11 to 20. Let me do this one, 21 to 50. Let me do this one, high into 100. And finally, 500 here, and you'll see the final band adjusts automatically for me. So now I can reset my map colors. You'll notice a lot of those points have changed colors based on the new inputs I gave. So when you're done working with your map, you can move on to the summary statistics. So to do that, I'm just going to click on this button. This is Show Me Summary Statistics. Now I'm taken to the stats page. I get a breakdown of number of conflicts, deaths reported, and then a breakdown of type 1, 2, and 3 conflicts. I also get a detailed breakdown of Side A and Side B opponents during these conflicts that were reported. Now, if you're not overly familiar with the data set, you might not remember what Side A and Side B means, so we've left you this nice little note here to remind you that in state-based conflicts, Side A is always a government. In one-sided conflicts, Side A is always a perpetuating party. In state-based conflicts, Side B is always the rebel movement or rival government, and in one-sided violence, it's always civilians. So off to the side, we actually have our graphs showing the breakdown number of deaths and conflicts reported by year. So we can see this instance I selected, as we move from 1990 to 1991, it's actually a large decrease in both deaths and the number of conflicts. Here we have a breakdown of conflict types. In this particular instance, there were no Type 2 or non-state conflicts reported. And then we have our breakdown of Side A and Side B participants. Now, say I want to expand my search. I can return to the main page, launch Conflict Mapper again. I can reset, and if I'm still interested in Angola, let's start maybe a year prior, and we'll go a year further this time. Again for region, pick Africa, country, Angola, and launch my new search. This one might take slightly longer since I picked a larger date range. So I'll be patient here for a moment while it works. As you can see, the point density is much higher this time. So we'll go ahead and move on to the summary stats. As you can see, I have the breakdown for each year here. So my initial hypothesis of things dying down in 91 turned out to be not so correct, as things picked up again in 1992. So this has been a brief walkthrough of Conflict Mapper. I hope you'll find it very useful, whether it's for personal use or for research. Thank you for your time.